Noah Verhoeven last year. He tried to teach me as much as possible.
Really?
Yeah. He was teaching me a lot about blindside movements and everything.
What was the celebration? I don't remember your celebration.
I didn't even know what I was doing.
Did you black out?
I just blacked out. I started running and just pumping the air. Let me see. I met Mo Salah.
Hello and welcome to ATO Off The Rack. I'm here in beautiful Passé in Little Italy for our first episode, and I'm going to be joined by Omar Darwish. Omar, welcome to the show. You're the first person. How's it feel?
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Pleasure to always, communicate with the guys, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, hopefully the vibes are good tonight. We're just hoping to chat a little bit about footy, a little bit about life. Obviously we're in Passé as well, so a little bit of fashion chat is never a bad idea. Have you been in Passé before?
I've been here once, I think. I came here with my friend one time, and we just stopped by here because I just saw a bunch of jerseys, so I wanted to see if I could pick one out, but didn't end up.
What would you have had your eyes on?
I was looking for a Liverpool jersey, so I don't know if I found one last time, but I don't think I did. So
a suspicious lack of Liverpool jerseys in here. I was literally just checking earlier today to see if there was one. No, a lot of Everton stuff. I don't know what's up with that. You're a flashy guy. You're a well-dressed guy. Does fashion matter to you at all?
I like to take some pride into it. I like to try to look good in front of the cameras and everything, and when I'm out and about with my friends, but I don't try to go over the top like you see with some of these footballers nowadays, but I try to keep it a little casual.
So you're saying from a scale of like not trying to kunde, you kind of fall in the
I'd say
in
like
the
a
middle.
4 or 5.
Okay, 4 or 5, gotcha. Last time, and I will leak that we've been here before and tried this before, but last time you showed up in an AC Milan kit.
Yeah.
Is that part of your regular rotation?
Not usually. I thought it was kind of fitting with the shop that we're in right now. Mm-hmm. So I was like, let me just bring my favorite kit out. So.
Okay, that's your favorite kit?
Yeah, I think it's the coolest one I have, kind of.
That's the one with it's like a cathedral.
Yeah, it's like it has like a collar, kind of, and then it's just like a bunch of stuff on the sides and everything. So yeah, all black.
What is that something you look for? Is all black and then a little design?
Yeah, I'm more of like kind of you can see right now, just kind of all black and just designs on over. So
I wore this almost all black jersey, and I had to position myself strategically because I don't know if you've noticed, it says angry. I'm gonna show the camera. So it says Angry Birds on the side, and I think it's so embarrassing to have an Angry Birds on my shirt. Like if it didn't, it would be a great kit. But people walk up to me and they're like, yo, nice Angry Birds shirt. And I'm like, that is just so not the point of why I'm wearing this. On the field, you're also a pretty, I feel like you put a lot of, or some effort into what your appearance is on the field. You've got sort of the undershirt, or you got sort of a wrap. Do you have a mentality of like, look good, play good kind of vibe?
I think it's all in your mind, I guess, but sometimes when you're playing on the field, you kind of have to have a routine. And so, with Carlton, I tried to go undershirt, no matter how hot it was, I guess, and with the wrist tape as well. And then, you see it a lot with like Vinny and Bellingham and all that. They cut the back of their sock. It's just a little thing.
That?
Yeah. I just cut like 1 or 2 holes in there. So.
You ever get backlash on the cut socks?
I just get made fun of by my teammates. Yeah. They just tell me like, oh, you think you're Jude Bellingham? I was like, yeah, okay.
There's a pic out there, I didn't bring it or print it or anything, and I'd have to find it again. But it's you, and you have the like Benzema wrap around the hand. Yeah. Was that a style thing, or was that you needed that?
It depends when it was. Like if it was it at Carlton?
I think probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so there was a point at the very end of the season when I actually injured my wrist.
Okay.
But before that, it was all just for for my mind, I guess.
I can't lie, I think that's one of the coolest. Benzema's made that so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into you. You're Omar Darwish. You're Egyptian.
Mm-hmm.
You're from Cairo.
Yeah.
You were born in Cairo?
I was born there, yeah. Lived there for 6 years.
Lived there for 6 years, and then came to Canada.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up in Cairo?
It was great, like the food is great, the environment's great. I think it's just more of a education purposes and everything, my parents wanted to come down here and, kind of build a new life. Because, nobody in my family, moved outside of Egypt except us. So we just took a risk on it, and it was great. Growing up here with soccer and everything, just life kind of came all together. So
I like that food was one of the first things you brought up. That must have been, like, what were the kind of things you were eating in Egypt?
It was kind of all over the place. My favorite dish is, it's a famous dish. It's called kushari, and it's like macaroni, and like you just throw a whole bunch of stuff. There's like onion. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
It just tastes amazing. So,
okay, sick.
All the street food is there, just amazing.
Are there good places in Ottawa where you can get that, or not so much?
I don't think so. Like there's some spots that sell Egyptian food, but it's mainly breakfast stuff.
Okay.
Breakfast and lunch.
Gotcha. I feel like in Ottawa there's a good disparity of like different places, but I've not encountered an Egyptian place, but I don't know, maybe next episode when we get you on the return episode, bring in some snacks. So Canada is when the soccer started, or did it start earlier than that?
I grew up in my local like boyhood club kind of thing. It was they're called Al Ahli. They're they're actually pretty famous in world football. But
oh, wow.
I grew up there for 2 years since I was 4 years old.
Okay.
And then came here and joined West Ottawa from the start.
And I think you come from a little bit of a sporty family. Your brother's sporty, at least I know. But is that a whole family thing? You guys are all in sports?
Yeah, the reason I kind of joined soccer was because of my brother, my older brother. So he started earlier than me, and I just joined in right after. And my little brother, he's a rugby player, and my dad, he grew up kind of playing basketball and stuff. So, it kind of runs in the family and everything.
Okay, and then you come to Canada and you continue that. Is there a difference between Canada soccer and soccer there?
I don't think I was, old enough to realize, but I went there a couple years ago to see, and I think over there is just a little less technical than it is over here.
Oh, really?
Which is surprising because I thought it would be the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a little less technical here, and here people understand the game more.
Okay.
They understand the game more. Over there, it's kind of a little more physical.
Huh. Yeah. Interesting. Something I love to ask people who grew up in soccer and played all levels of soccer growing up is when you're, and I think it's safe to say you're a good player. You're better than a lot of people. When you're a good player who's coming through the ranks of youth soccer, I almost like to think there's a couple camps. There's the people who are just head and shoulders above everyone else in every way. Yeah. But then there's people who have one attribute that stands out. Like Romelu Lukaku was just massive as a kid, playing for the Chelsea youth squad. Or some people were just way faster than everyone. Yeah. Was there one thing that stood out about you that made you better than everyone else?
I think growing up, I was fortunate enough to be a little bigger than most of my, teammates and opposition.
Okay.
So it kind of helped me out a little bit. And, at that age when people are just trying to ping, 20-yard ball, 30-yard balls, I thought it was a lot easier for me. So it kind of helped me stand out a little more.
Okay. Yeah. And you always played midfield, or?
Yeah, I grew up always in the midfield, but then 1 year I played as a center back, and then I just went back up to midfield.
Okay, so you're always more in the defensive third.
Part.
My name's Cal, proud Athletico Ottawa supporter. I'm here at my shop, Passé, in Little Italy, 193 Preston, where we sell everything from vintage soccer jerseys to vintage banties to crew necks to jackets to sweaters, women's wear, pants, all that good stuff. Come find us here 6 days a week, closed Tuesdays, open 12 to 7, every day except Sunday, 12 to 5. Let's go. Vamos Atleti.
So then you go to West Ottawa Soccer Club, and you're there for quite a while. Yeah. What are some of the big milestones along that journey that get you to where you are now?
I think, so obviously you grow up, and I was with the same team for pretty much my whole life. And, we went to our first year OPDL, we didn't do good. And then second year, we did good, but there was no real standings. And then third year, we were in it, COVID happened. And the final year, we went all the way and won OPDL Charity Shield and everything. So yeah, that was pretty fun.
Okay, and so I guess fondest memories, you're talking about that last final year that would stand out to you.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we kind of swept every team in the province. You know, we went undefeated, and yeah, it was just great. We got our coach to tattoo our badge on his calf. So
Whoa,
yeah,
really?
that was great. Yeah.
That's wild. Okay, what coach was that?
His name is Marco Ramazzi. He was at OSU for a bit, and then he came to West Ottawa.
So at what point in the season does that come up where he's like, I'll get the tattoo?
First, like before the first game.
Really?
Yeah, before the first game, because we were playing in an age group where it was 04, 05. And so he didn't believe that we were gonna go all the way. So we just made a joke about it, and he ended up doing it.
So, wow, that's so funny. So you think that motivation played into it at all?
I think it probably played a little factor. I know we were talking about it midway through the season a lot. So yeah.
Talk to me about some of the coaches in your lives. What have been some of the words you've got from them that have sort of propelled you forward and kept you going? Are there any standout moments there?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest one for me that I always kind of think about is Josh Reed. He used to he played at St. FX University for a while. Came and coached me for a year, and the biggest thing he told me was, it's easy to get into the environment you want, but it's way harder to stay in it. You know, so you always have to just put your head down and grind, and no matter what you do, just keep grinding, and never take anything, like, never be comfortable with anything you do. You know, so that kind of stuck out to me.
I like that. Would you say coaches have been your biggest motivating factor? Like, what is your relationship with football, with soccer? Is it something you've always just wanted to do, or has it been kind of more of a roller coaster?
You know, it's always kind of a roller coaster, especially recently. Like you always go through stuff that sometimes you're like, oh, maybe this isn't for me. But you know, you always push through because at the end of the day, this is what you want to do for a living. You know, and I think coaches play a huge factor in that. You know, at Carlton, I had the whole coaching staff believe in me. At West Ottawa, growing up, everybody believed in me, and it's just, you know, continue. And obviously, it plays a factor in your confidence and your performance and everything. So, yeah, I think it's a huge part in your game.
And outside of that, family too?
Yeah, family. You know, my parents, they always try to help me out as much as possible. You know, even if my mom doesn't know much about soccer, she'll try to give me points, and yeah, I always kind of brush it off, but you know, I always have to listen. So
that's funny. My dad is exactly like that, and obviously I'm not at the same level as you, but he would come to my games not understanding anything about soccer, and then just start like saying words I'd never hear him say anywhere else. He'd be like his claim to fame was he'd yell "surge forward," and no one knew what that meant. He was just like saying it, and we're like, okay. But yeah, it's always good to have that backing behind you. Okay, well, I think to get to know each other a little more, we should move on to our first game of the day.
Okay.
This game comes from the fact that I had a really great name for a game and no concept for it,
Okay.
so it could go horribly. It could go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
But this game is called 2 Dars and a Wish.
Okay.
Little play on 2 stars and a wish. And essentially, it's going to be 2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
So we're gonna, I'll say 2 truths and a lie, you say 2 truths and a lie, and we'll try and figure it out, try and suss out which one's the lie. I can go first to give you some time to think of yours.
Yep.
So my 3 would be, I was born on St. Patrick's Day. I'm allergic to bananas, and I've met James Cameron.
Okay. Which James Cameron?
James Cameron, the director of
okay.
Titanic.
Okay.
Any questions?
Do I guess now?
You can guess, or if you want
Well,
to. Hey, I can defend my claims here.
I'll say that you are not born on St. Patrick's Day.
Incorrect. I was born on St. Patrick's
Okay.
Day. You want to shoot again?
Yeah, let me shoot again. I don't get it wrong. The bananas.
The bananas is true. I actually love bananas. Or
Really?
sorry, no, bananas is a lie.
It's a lie.
It's true that you are correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I love bananas. Not allergic at all, and I have met James Cameron.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever met someone that was allergic to bananas. So.
My sister has a latex allergy, which like kind of counts, because
Not
there's
bad,
latex in bananas. But
Oh, is it?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
I don't know.
I don't know that at all.
But yeah, okay. Congratulations, you got it on the second try. I think now it's
Let me
only fair that
think,
you go.
let me
You
think.
go.
Okay. Number one, when I was born,
Yeah.
the water cut out. Okay.
The water cut out.
The water cut out.
Okay.
Let's see. Number two, I spent 2 years in Toronto growing up.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Oh yeah. And number three, let me see. I met Mo Salah.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask some questions about this.
Okay.
Where did you meet Mo Salah?
In Egypt after one of his games.
Okay. Interesting. Good
Yep.
defense there.
Mm-hmm.
What? It was an international game.
It was an international game.
Okay. In Toronto, where in Toronto were you?
Mississauga.
You're good at this. Okay, and the first one was the water cut out just everywhere.
It was just everyone in the city. Yeah.
Everywhere in the city, the water cut out. These are three. I don't think you met Mo Salah.
I did.
You met Mo
I
Salah.
have. Yeah.
Whoa! Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll
let
give
me
you another chance.
Let me go again. The water cut out. How soon did they realize the water had cut out?
Like I wouldn't know, but like.
Well, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair. You were just busy being born
Yeah,
or whatever.
exactly.
Okay. And when did the water come back? Do you know?
No, I think it was a couple hours later, but
I think this is a lie.
no, it's actually not.
Oh my God. So the lie was you lived in Toronto.
Yeah, I've never lived in Toronto.
So the water cut out.
The water did cut out. Yeah, my parents talk about it all the time, so I
Do
don't
you
know how
think-
that happened.
Do you think there was some sort of cosmic anything there?
Like I think no, I mean it happens quite often.
Okay.
You know? So I wish there was,
I did think you said that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like that was the one thing that was like, okay, maybe that was true because you were like right away, you're like the water cut out.
Yeah.
But man, you got me. So Mo Salah you met after international game.
Yeah, it was a South Africa game. We lost them in the round of 16.
Okay.
Of African Cup, I think in 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I mean, yeah, you know, obviously you grew up watching him, or,
Yeah.
so you look up to him, and you know he's kind of the figure of your whole nation. So it's great seeing him.
Does he have like an aura?
I think you know every Egyptian is kind of in love with him. So like you know you see him walk every time he touches the ball, it's cheers. You know, never booing, and everybody respects him, even his teammates, coaches, and everything. So
Did you like fangirl a little bit?
no, I couldn't.
No,
No,
just
I
a
couldn't.
little.
I couldn't.
Just
I
a
couldn't.
little.
I couldn't.
You get an autograph?
No, I didn't. I just got a picture.
Where do you stand on autographs? Like, does that matter to you if you have an autograph of someone or not?
Like, not really. I mean, you know, as long as I meet the guy or whatever, I think that's enough. You know, maybe a picture as well. But,
Picture's more important because
yeah.
it shows that it. Okay, fair enough. I used to have an autograph collection when I was little, and I had, you know, the guy that walked across. I don't know if any of you guys know this. He walked across Niagara Falls. Nick Walenda, look him up. I didn't have his autograph. I had his parents' autograph, and I thought I cooked. I was like showing everyone at school. I was like, "Yo," they're like, "I don't know who James Walenda is," but anyways, yeah. Do you sign autographs ever?
I do. I have, yeah, a couple times at Athletico.
Okay, big question there.
Yeah.
Do you practice?
I didn't have one in the first like 2 weeks when I first signed, and so I didn't know what I was doing. Like I was just writing my name and trying to write it in cursive, but I didn't know how to write it. But then as I, you know, like kind of picked it up, you know, you just kind of start making stuff up and you just stay with it. So
Do you put the number?
yeah,
6?
I did. So I do my name in cursive, and then I do my just last initial and then the number.
Omar.
Yeah.
Do you do number 6 or just?
No, just 6.
Just 6. I feel like I don't believe that players just learn that themselves. I feel like you guys must take like a sneaky
Yeah.
course on how
No.
to do
Some
signatures.
of
They
these-
always look so
yeah,
good.
Some
man.
of these signatures are ridiculous. Like they look insane. So.
Who's got the worst signature that you've seen?
On the team,
Yeah.
I think maybe Tier.
Really?
Yeah,
Bad
maybe
signature.
Tier. Well, it's TYR, you know, so it's not that.
Hard to style that one.
Yeah.
So after West Ottawa Soccer, you and Gabe Carvalho get contracts with ATO. That was 2022, I think.
Yeah.
Dev contracts. Run me through that. So I think you were were you a showcase that you got that contract off?
No, so I initially got an invite from Kwesi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he knew about all of us, I guess, and I came to a few practices, and then it would be like once every week, once every 2 weeks, like right after the game day, just so we can play against their people that, compensatory.
Okay.
And then I just ended up, he ended up bringing us out, and the coach ended up saying, yeah, like, bring him to more sessions, and same thing happened with Gabe. So after like 2 weeks of just straight sessions, they're like, you know what, we might need the under 21 minutes. So I think we're gonna sign you to a development contract. And that's how it happened.
And what were the kind of prevalent emotions at that time? Like that must have been kind of exciting.
Yeah. It's your first contract with a pro team. It might not have been a pro contract, but it's still your first contract. Mm-hmm. And those are kind of things that you want, just to get to the next step and keep going. So.
And did you and Gabe talk about it at all? Like, are you guys tight like that, or?
At the beginning, yeah, we talked about it, how we were both getting offered the contract, and we talked about, how it was, and we got the same contract, so it was pretty similar. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of stuff to talk about at that time. So.
Okay, cool. I guess I'd wonder about that. The step between, because you're playing for Carlton at the same time.
Yep.
But the step between what you're doing and then going to play with all these CPL guys, is it a big step? Was it a transition?
Yeah, I mean, when you're 17 and you're training with West Ottawa, it was like the biggest step I took. You can see the difference. Everybody's first touch is, it's there. They all have a certain dominance to them, and it was much different than the youth levels, because I think youth levels, everyone was kind of, towards the same level, or if not a little lower. But once you get that pro level, it's a really big jump.
So you come in on that first training session, and it's like, oh my God, I gotta start. I gotta get working.
Yeah, no, I think it was because we played our first session with them. It was a game, and in the game, I remember I gave the ball away like I don't know how many times. There was one time I gave the ball away, Brian Wright scores, and in my head I'm like, what is going on? They're just bullying me off the ball, no. And then I realized I gotta pick it up. So,
I mean, all that aside, like obviously it's a great thing to be recognized by Athletico and that whole organization, and you got all kinds of sort of perks from it as well, right? Like you got your trip to Spain. That must have been amazing, incredible. Yeah. Everyone I've talked to about that trip says it was like the best trip. Yeah. So many good vibes there. Met so many. I mean, it's not meeting Mo Salah, but met some players and went to a game too. Mm-hmm. That must have been crazy.
Yeah, I mean, watching some of these guys, in person, like Griezmann, like that's the guy you watch growing up, and I remember we were making jokes about it because he was like the way he plays is so. It's so silky, and like he does those little chips over the top and all that. We were making jokes about how everybody's gonna be trying that in practice, But no, I mean, I remember that game. I think the Pie scored a screamer. It was like 5-0 or something, and it was an amazing experience. The fans, everything. It's crazy.
Tier told me, I think it was Tier, said he was in a class when he went to Spain. He was like, he had to schedule his exams on either side of going to Spain. Mm-hmm. Did you have to do that too?
I was in high school. It was a little different for me.
Oh, okay, got you.
And when I got back, that whole month I didn't do any work. I wasn't even paying attention to school. And
I'd be so checked out of school.
Yeah, I mean, like you kind of want to live the moment. So I was so out of school. And then I talked to my teachers when I came back. I was like, I really need to pass these courses. I need to play for Carlton next year, and so I really need help with the assignments. And they're like, you know what, okay. And then they built like a schedule for me, just to have certain assignments that I missed, and they helped me out a lot.
Oh, cool.
I was very surprised about, but they helped me out a lot.
So they recognized that, like,
they knew what I was doing. So.
You're clearly, you got a lot on the go.
Yeah,
fair enough. That's pretty good. Shout out a teacher right now.
Yeah. Miss Ellis, my grade 12 English teacher.
Shout out Miss Ellis. It's always the English teachers. Yeah, respect. I mean, like the teams you've been training with Athletico, so many great players coming through that camp, in and out. I mean, like Howard and Acosta, like so many great names. Who are the standouts to you? The people that taught you the most and people that you learned from?
I think so. Noah Verhoeven last year, he tried to teach me as much as possible. You
Really?
know? Yeah. He was teaching me a lot about blindside movements and everything. Try to get off the ball and like movement off the ball and everything. And this year, I think the biggest one for me is obviously Zapatero.
Yeah.
And I try to I do my best to try to mimic his movements. Obviously he does it way quicker. He does it and way smoother and everything. But I try to learn as much from him as possible.
Does he teach much vocally, or is it mostly just through his actions?
Now, because last year, 6 months that he was here, it wasn't as vocal.
Mm-hmm.
It was more through his actions. But now it's a lot more vocal. He's learning, picking up the language. He's, so it's teaching me a lot more now.
This is our show and tell segment.
Yeah. Obviously this is my first jersey. You kind of always remember these ones when, your first name on the back and everything. And I think it's special to me because although I might not have played and everything, it's still your first jersey. Your first time with the name on the back, the numbers. And here it's printed Athletico Ottawa, Forge FC, TD Place Stadium, and then the date of the final.
That's very special.
Yeah.
What do you make of this kit overall, the Athletico one?
I think this is probably one of my favorite ones. I think it is my favorite one, to be honest.
It's
This
nice
one-
with the little squares inside, and it's a good kit.
Yeah.
And are you hanging that one up on the wall?
Yeah, this one's on the wall in my house. So.
Okay. Talk to me about that. Those celebrations, just progressing through the playoffs and doing so well, and like the win in the semifinals, was that Pacific?
It was at Pacific.
Pacific?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what were the vibes like there after you make it to the finals?
I know. Those guys were, everybody went crazy.
Yeah.
I think it was Malcolm Shaw that scored it, or Zach Verhoeven. I forget who scored it, but it was the one to just seal the game. And when they came back and in practice, everybody was in a good mood, But then I think Carlos made an emphasis that we're not done yet. We still have a final to go through. But even just after winning the regular season, those celebrations are amazing. So it was my first time to witness something like that. All the fireworks in the back and everything. Yeah.
I've seen the videos.
Yeah.
So special
Surreal
looking.
experience. Yeah.
So for you then, like, you don't play in the game, and obviously the result didn't go the way you wanted.
Yeah.
At what point does this jersey, is right off the bat, is that a special jersey to you, or is there a little bit of in your head like, oh, it didn't quite go the way it could have gone?
Obviously, you always kind of think about I never got to wear the jersey in a game, but even though the team didn't win, it still kind of holds a place in your heart since it's your first jersey.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you kind of grew up dreaming about, and eventually you get it, and you have to kind of savor the moment.
And then with this jersey there, I guess my question would be, hanging it up on the wall again, what's it going to take to have a jersey that knocks it off the wall or goes up beside it?
I'd say my debut jersey.
Okay.
Obviously, you kind of want to remember that, and then if there's ever a victory, a final win of whatever finals you kind of get to, I think that would also knock it off as well.
Let's talk about Carlton then.
Yeah.
First off, is that Carlton jersey on the wall?
No, we don't get to keep them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah,
So
that's tough, actually.
Yeah, they just stay at Carlton, but obviously it was great. So.
It was a pretty special team.
Yeah.
A lot of good players on that team.
Yeah.
What was the energy like in that team?
To be honest, that was one of those teams where you're like, yeah, this is actually a family. You guys went through everything together. I know we had a lot of stick before the season even started about how we're gonna perform, if we're gonna do well, with all the seniors leaving and all these rookies that are coming in. But we took it game by game. There was Queens away. We won in the last second of the game, so that was ridiculous. It's a rival game. And then when we started playing the big teams, TMU, the Ontario Techs, it got a little, feisty and everything, but we still stuck by each other. And eventually, UFT in the quarterfinals, last minute winner with Eric scoring it, and we went crazy. The semifinals against Brock, the penalty shootout, that was, everybody. I remember like most of our teams were crying mid shootout.
Oh my
like
gosh.
it was crazy. And then the final, Luka with his free kick from like 40 yards.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, he scored another one as well. I think the whole team that game was just on fire. Everybody was on the same page. Everybody was activated. They were ready to win the game.
You scored in that game, huh?
Yeah.
Walk me through that goal. Tell me about it.
Okay, so Luka whips it in. This is after we built a lot of momentum,
Okay.
Luka whips it in, and then it lands like on my thigh.
Yeah.
Okay? As it lands on my thigh, this defender like jumps right in front of me, but I didn't, like I wasn't sure where the ball was. Okay, so it just lands and then just drops, and I remember our center back Tarek, he was about to swing at it. And I was like, what, nah, it's the final, I'm swinging.
It's your ball.
Yeah, and normally, in training, I'll always shank those. Left foot, I have volley, I'm always shanking that.
Is that weak foot?
Yeah, it was left foot,
Oh,
yeah. And then I was like, I need to just stay as calm as possible. Let me just try to find a corner, put the ball in the net. And then I just kind of swing at it, and it goes bottom left, and I start going crazy. Yeah, the flares, the fans, everything,
Vibes.
It's amazing.
What was the celebration? I don't remember your celebration. What
I
was it
didn't
like?
even know what I was doing.
You blacked out?
I just blacked out. I started running and just pumping the air, and that was about it. I didn't know what to do.
That's crazy. And then afterwards, it just looked like an awesome time on the field with the hats and the vibes. Like, just a great time.
Vibes were amazing. I mean, after the game, we got our awards and everything for, if you were an all-star or anything. But, even after the game, even though York lost, our fans did something amazing. They started chanting York. They started chanting their little York Lion name, and to kind of give them a round of applause for the performance. So,
I'm gonna move us on to our second game of the day. This is a segment called Tiny Mike, Tiny Questions.
Okay.
And this is kind of what you would see on TikTok or Instagram Reels or something. I'm gonna ask you some questions, quick fire, about a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
And you can keep it, it's a tiny mic, so it's a tiny question. You can keep it as brief as you want. We don't have to elaborate on anything.
Okay.
Just getting to know a little bit more about you, about stuff going on in the city. So let's run it. So the first tiny mic, tiny question. Who would play, you're a movie guy.
Yeah.
Who would play you in an Omar movie?
Morgan Freeman.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Favorite place to unwind?
Basement.
Your basement.
Yeah.
Okay.
My basement.
A song you've been bumping recently?
Who Decides War by M. Huncho.
A little gap here where we play that song. Favorite breakfast?
I think just an omelet.
Solid. What's in the omelet?
I'm just more of a cheese and salt and pepper. That's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
straight to the point. Objectively, best childhood cartoon?
SpongeBob.
Yeah, I think that's the answer. Dream vacation?
Bora Bora.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
You answered that really quickly.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that for a while actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. One that hits close to home for you? Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Yeah, you say Nike or Nike?
Nike.
Nike.
Yeah, if you say
Okay.
Nike, you're a little weird.
Okay. Best grub in Ottawa. Underrated place to eat some food.
BFF, Burgers and Fries Forever.
And where is that?
Just down Bank Street.
Okay. I've never been there.
Yeah, very good.
But maybe I will now. And then last question. Favorite sea creature?
It's a dolphin.
Dolphin. Why dolphin?
I don't know. I just always like dolphins.
Not a shark?
No. I'd say dolphin.
Okay.
No.
Dolphins can be vicious though.
I know. Yeah,
Okay.
but they're nice and squealy. Yeah.
Nice and squealy. You heard it here first. All right, that was Tiny Mike, 10 questions, and I'm glad we did that one. What would you say is like your thing when you're playing soccer? Like, what are you known for? Because for me, when I watch like a Omar highlight reel, it's those like pinged balls out to the right hand side. Is that kind of your bread and butter?
Yeah, the pings across the field. Those are, I love those, and a lot of things like some things I hear from teammates and coaches, it's ball recoveries. You know, like although maybe a boring aspect of the game, you know, as a six, it's kind of what you hope for, you know, to just win the ball back for your team.
Is that what gets you like fired up?
Yeah, I think you know, hard tackles and all that just gets me going. So.
Okay, gotcha. Who would you like, a player playing today? Who would you compare yourself to?
That's a tough one. I get by my coach at Carlton, I get Douglas Luiz a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, someone that I really enjoy watching and kind of want to play as well, like, is Declan Rice. You know, I just love the way he plays. Even though he's huge, like, he's rapid. So
Yeah. Are you allowed to say that as a Liverpool fan?
I think so. I think I'm allowed.
You don't want to be more of a Thiago?
No. He's too silky.
Too silky?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. I mean, I feel like in your passing, there's a little bit of Pirlo. A little bit of...
I hope. You know, that's what you kind of hope for.
Have you been watching much of the Euros?
Yes, almost every game actually.
Almost every game?
Yeah.
How many, like, you can count on one hand the games you've missed, do you think?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
I think it's about 3 or 4.
Okay, and you've been doing fantasy.
Yeah.
Who's playing in your team right now? Because I saw you had it open.
Yeah, I have Mbappe captain. He got a goal today, so
Me
that's
too.
okay.
We take those.
I Frimpong didn't play,
Tough
so
one.
that wasn't good.
Tough.
And right now I have Bellingham and Kane.
Okay,
And we're just waiting to see what goes on with that.
we'll see. We'll see. And are you sticking with your prediction? Germany
I think Germany's still going all the way.
going all the way, and you
Yeah.
said France as well.
I think France. I don't know. From what I saw today, I mean, I thought maybe they get knocked out earlier, but
But I
still
feel like it's a very France thing
yeah,
to just be.
I think I don't think they care right now. But,
No, they're
you know,
chilling. They're kicking back. What about Spain though? I feel like Spain have looked really good.
Yeah, Spain's look amazing. I think 0 goals conceded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
come on. I think my main concern with them is their center backs are really weird now.
Yeah,
Lame Norman, like who is that guy?
there's no Sergio Ramos.
No Sergio Ramos. Shout out Cucurella though.
Yeah.
The new Sergio Ramos, some are saying. And how are you doing in your fantasy?
I'm third right now of
Okay.
like 12, so I'm against it's just a bunch of local players, and then right now I'm behind the Halifax assistant coach,
Oh,
Jet
my
Davies. Yeah, he's just
God. This
on-
cannot stand.
Yeah, he's always on the game. So
No, my God. Not good. Not good. There's still time though. There's still
Yeah.
time. Wait for Bellingham and Kane to score. And then outside of that, like Liverpool fan. You've been a Liverpool fan since Salah joined, or your whole life?
Before.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
My bad.
Yeah.
Before. And I mean, 2020 must have been pretty special. That
Yeah.
era of like when they were just on top of everything.
I remember was 2021 or 2020 the Champions League?
2021. Aaron's
2019.
2019,
right? Yeah. Okay.
man. 2019-20 though.
So I think 2019. I think with all the Jurgen Klopp like comments of like, let's talk about 6, you know, all those funny interviews and stuff, that was amazing. And then the first Prem title, and you know, everybody made a big deal about how you guys have never won a Prem, always just league title, not since it's been named Prem. And yeah, after that first Prem, it was amazing. So.
And where do you stand on like how good that team actually was? Like Van Dijk, is he?
Yeah.
Was he just that guy for one season?
No. I think
no.
genuinely, I think he was up there with JT, Vidic, all of them. Yeah.
Okay, and Salah, one of the greatest.
Salah, I don't think he's one of the greatest. Well, you know, I think Egyptian best player of all time. I don't think he's, you know, top 10 greatest players of all time though. So I think a lot of people kind of like overrate what he's done in a way. Like I think, you know, I don't think he's been at that same level throughout his whole career for him to achieve like top 10 players of all time.
Okay, so from a view of everything, he just hasn't had that wide reach of. Yeah, I mean that's true, but he was. I mean, when he's good, he's good.
Yeah.
As an Everton fan, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Everton player?
I'll go with Amadou Onana.
Oh, great show, great
Yeah.
show. Well, just say it. We can cut. Just say it.
Salah or Hazard?
I'd go with Salah. I think even though that one season when Hazard was just breaking everyone's ankles, you know, just going past everyone, just dominating, I'd still think Salah did it for longer. So
Okay, I mean different styles of winger.
Yeah.
Like hard to compare the two. Good content, Aaron. Nice work. Get over here. Come sit in my chair. Let's hop into our final game of today. This is going to be something we're going to do on every show. It's a little bit of a ball knowledge test. We know you watch Euros, you watch Liverpool, but we want to test the ball knowledge a little bit. So I've got 10 questions, and I'm going to ask you, and however well you do, we're going to stick you on the Off The Rack ball test official whiteboard. So yeah, let's jump into it and let's see how you do. Are you confident?
I'm pretty confident myself. Yeah.
Pretty confident. I didn't know quite what your level was, so I've gone with a little bit of a disparity of questions.
Okay.
Some tricky ones, some not so tricky ones. Hang on a sec. Probably should pause that. All right. Question 1. To the nearest 1,000, what was the attendance for the CPL final game against Forge? That one there.
15,000.
Ding, ding, ding. 1 point for Omar. Question 2. Name 2 of the top 5 Liverpool goal scorers of all time.
Mo Salah.
There's one.
That's a good question. It's a very good question.
2 of these guys I've never heard of.
So you said out of the top 5.
Out of the top 5.
Kenny Dalglish?
No, not there actually,
Wow.
surprisingly. It's Salah, Rush,
Ian Rush.
Hunt, and then Lidl and Hodgson. If anybody knows those guys. So I'll give you half point. Half
Okay.
point. You're at 1.5.
Okay.
Question 3. Brentford FC are known as the what?
It's a good question. What is it? Is it on their logo?
Yeah, one of them is.
Like this is what their name is. The fans call them this.
Yeah, it's like their nickname.
Ah,
Can you picture their logo?
yeah. What is it? It's like a wasp, isn't it? Or like a bee?
I'll give you B. B is
Okay.
correct, yeah. 2.5. Doing well. Question 4. The host nation for the Euros this year got off to a pretty hot start. Who scored the first goal of the Euros for Germany?
Florian Wirtz?
That's correct. That's correct. You're at 3.5. You're storming. Okay, but maybe an easier one here. The CPL Young Player of the Season last year was
Mateo Gabriel.
easy. 4.5. Question 6. Name 4 Spanish Premier League players to play in the last few years.
David Silva.
Okay, I'll give you that. Last few years, I don't know.
Let's see. Thiago Alcantara.
Okay, yeah,
We'll go with Rodri
yeah, boom.
and last few years.
I don't know if I'm gonna give you David Silva. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah,
It's been a while. It's been a
3
while.
years, 4 years.
No, I don't know.
Let's see. Wow, Spanish midfielders. Am I like? Is there like an obvious one?
Yes. There's a couple.
Wow.
There's one in my mind. Are you doing midfielders? Or are you doing? Because
I'm doing midfielders.
Oh no, I'll take
Okay.
anyone.
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 Let's see. That doesn't help, but let's see. Wow, I'm actually blanking.
Sandro Ramirez, Everton player. Don't use that one. Don't use that one.
Let's see. Spanish.
Spanish.
Wow.
No, I
What
think
is
you're
going
done.
on?
I think you're done.
What
I
is
think you're
going
done. How many did you get there? You got Thiago.
Thiago, Rodri. I
Rodri.
got 3 out of 4.
No, you didn't get David Silva.
Oh, that's so
Half point. Do you remember what he was on?
4. It's 3.5 now. 4.
He's now 4. Okay. Going into question 7.
Okay.
You're on 4 points. Euro 2020 was held in which nation?
Euro 2020. World Cup was in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Euro 2020 was in.
Bit of a tricky question.
Is it a big nation? Like, in terms of soccer?
Hard to say, really.
Okay, that'll help me out. I will go with 2020. Wow. You said it's hard. You said it's hard?
It's a really tricky one.
So it's not one of the big ones.
It could
Unless
be,
you're tricky.
It could be one of the big ones.
I'm gonna go with France.
I'll give you that. It was actually a lot of nations.
Was it?
Yeah, because it was like
Oh.
post-COVID, so it was like a whole bunch.
Okay.
That was a trick question, but yeah, I'll give you the point. So you're on 5 points, I think. Going into question 8. All right, let's do. Name 2 players to have scored in a Euros final.
Euros final. Okay, Eder.
Yep, good answer.
And 2020, Italy, England, Lucia.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Nicely done. 6 correct. 6 points.
Yeah.
I really have to start writing down how many points. But yeah. Okay, question 9. This one is one you can do pretty easily, I think. Who is taller? I like to have a who is taller question.
Okay.
Andy Robertson
Okay.
or Miles Cornwall? You know Miles Cornwall.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Pretty tall
You know
guy.
how tall he is. Tall guy.
Well, that's a trick question.
Go be another trick
I'm
question.
gonna go with Andy Robertson.
Oh, it's Miles Cornwall. That's crazy. I don't remember what the height is, but it's not close. Andy Robertson's like 5.
I thought you were tricky, bro.
Yeah, fair enough. I did hit you with a trick one. Okay, last question here. And I think this is one that we have already talked about. Question 10. Who wears number 6 for Liverpool?
I'm going with third, no?
Yeah. Nicely done. That was, I think, 7 points out of 10. That's pretty solid. I'm going to put you on the board here. And because you are the first person, that also means you're going to be in first place.
Wow. First place, wow.
How does it feel?
It's great.
Honest, like in all of these accomplishments of yours that we talked about, you know,
I think this one.
This one tops it all?
This one kind of tops it.
check that out. You
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
hold it for this
Top
one.
down.
There we go. Omar Darwish on top of the league. Perfect. Well, thanks for playing the quiz with me. I feel like that's pretty much all I have to ask you right now. Is there anything that I have missed? What's going on in your life right now? You're in school.
Yeah, I just finished summer school, so
Okay.
And then I'm leaving in 2 days to go to Egypt for quite a bit, and
Nice.
then Germany.
For the Euros?
Yeah,
Or?
no, I won't miss. I won't be there for the Euros. It's just vacation. So
Okay, nice,
Yeah.
nice. And then longer term, what do you got going on? Any big aspirations, plans?
I mean, next year we're going into Carlton, so hopefully we have a good season there, and then we'll see what happens next January.
Cool, love it. Well, I'm looking forward to keeping up with you, and I think everyone else is. Awesome. Thanks for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.